Okay, welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're digging into an app that tries to make tough subjects, think math, science, computer science, more engaging. Brilliant.
Brilliant. And the big question we're tackling, after looking at, well, a whole load of reviews and feedback, is this. Is it actually legit, or is it just, a lot of hype?
Exactly. Is it a real learning tool or just pretty colors?
Our job here is to sort of cut through all that noise. We've synthesized the evidence, looked at reviews, user comments,
Right.
and we want to give you the bottom line on trustworthiness, and maybe more importantly, figure out how you might actually use it, or if you should.
Okay, quick answers. Let's start with trust. Safety. Are there any red flags?
Well, right off the bat, some good signs. It's fully available and approved on both the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store.
Okay, so it passes those basic security and quality checks. It's standard, but essential.
Definitely essential. And what I found interesting is their transparency. They actually list contact options, email, phone, even a physical company address.
Oh, that's different. You don't always see that.
Oh,
Some apps make it really hard to find anyone.
Exactly. It feels less like a, sketchy operation hiding somewhere. Plus, there's a public face. Soo Kim, the co-founder and CEO, she's visible, like on LinkedIn.
Right, that adds a layer of confidence. It's not anonymous. And what about social proof? Are people actually using it?
Seems like it. They have a pretty active social media presence. I saw something like 1.8 million followers just on Facebook.
Wow, okay. That suggests real engagement, not just bots. So, trust-wise, it seems pretty solid. But what about user experience? The ratings?
Right. The ratings, this is where it gets a bit more nuanced. On the Play Store, it's got a really impressive 4.7 stars. Huge number of reviews.
4.7 is very high.
It is. But then you look at Trustpilot, which often attracts, let's say, more critical users.
Yeah, people often go there when something's gone wrong.
Exactly. And there, the score is, well, it's still good, but it's lower. 4.1 stars. Still solid, thousands of reviews, but there's a difference.
4.7 versus 4.1. Why the gap? Is it the content? Are people finding issues with the actual learning material?
That's what we looked into. And connecting the dots, it seems the lower scores on Trustpilot often aren't about the courses themselves. It's more about the subscription model.
Okay. Like billing issues or maybe difficulty canceling, that kind of thing.
Precisely. Administrative friction, not necessarily learning quality friction. So
Yeah.
that kind of clears its name on the educational front mostly.
Interesting. Okay, so let's get to the core then. Does it actually work? Does it make you, better at this stuff? We looked at Reddit, right, where people don't sugarcoat things.
Yeah, we dove into Reddit forums and discussion transcripts,
Oh.
and the vibe there, the consensus around how it teaches is actually quite strong.
What's the main takeaway? How does it work?
The big thing seems to be active recall. Brilliant apparently forces you to engage directly. It's not about passively watching videos or just reading text.
So lots of interaction.
Yeah, lots of interactive puzzles, simulations, step-by-step challenges. You have to figure out the next step, solve the problem. You're actively building the knowledge, not just absorbing it.
And users like that.
Yeah.
Especially for these technical fields.
They did. We saw a lot of praise specifically for modules on things like probability, algorithms, even introductions to linear algebra. People mentioned the visuals are great too.
Visuals are always helpful for complex ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Helps build intuition.
Right. And it keeps you motivated for like daily practice. Those little puzzle chunks seem to work well for consistency.
Okay, so it sounds like it excels at making you do things, solve problems.
Exactly. Which brings us to an important point about where it fits. The overall feedback suggests it's a fantastic supplement, a learning boost.
A supplement,
Yeah.
meaning not a replacement for, say, a textbook or a full course.
Correct. It's brilliant, pun intended, for practicing problem solving, building intuition, developing that real-world logic. Great for making concepts click.
But what's the catch? Or the limitation?
The main caveat seems to be depth. If you're looking for super deep, rigorous theoretical proofs, like you'd get in a university textbook.
Or maybe a really comprehensive course on Coursera or Khan Academy.
Exactly. Brilliant might feel a bit thin in that regard. It's more focused on the how to solve it and why it matters, rather than the exhaustive theoretical underpinnings.
Okay, that makes sense. It has a specific strength. Problem solving, interaction, visual learning.
Precisely. So summing it up for you, the listener, is Brilliant legit? Yes, definitely seems trustworthy, and users find it highly engaging.
Good for building concepts, especially if you like interactive visual ways to learn.
It's a great tool if you want to shift your brain from just taking notes to actively tackling problems in math, science, or CS.
So, final verdict. Legit, good for its niche. But here's a final thought for you to consider based on everything we've seen.
Yeah.
Since the app really pushes that daily practice habit with short, rewarding puzzles,
Yeah.
maybe the biggest long-term benefit isn't just the specific topic you learned this week.
Hmm.
Maybe the real value is in building and strengthening that consistent daily habit of learning itself, something that goes beyond just brilliant.
Interesting thought. The habit might be more valuable than the content in the long run?
Something to think about. That's our deep dive on Brilliant for today.